How about that, Coach? You got some applause coming in, Coach Mike. Mike Blitch, Blitzin with Blitch. What's up, man?
What's going on?
It's good to see you. Hey, let me see if I can do it again. Oh, they love you today.
Good.
They should. What, 38 nothing? I mean, another shutout for your defensive squad. Golly. Talk about last Friday in the rain for a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, had a
Thursday.
pretty good night. Yeah, Thursday. Yeah, short week. It makes it difficult going into it. We had a feeling going in like we liked the matchup over time just because we knew how many guys they had playing both ways. They had I think 8 or 9 two-way starters, so we felt we'd win the war of attrition over time eventually. Which we have so many two-way guys ourselves that it's not often we get a matchup where it's like, hey, I think we'll stay fresher longer than them. So that was good. The boys just played really well out the gate defensively, physical, just getting after him. Had I think 3 interceptions, 2 pick sixes. We ran back. I think Garrett McCurdy had 2 picks, one for a touchdown. Travion Barber had a big pick. He ran back for a touchdown. He blocked the punt as well.
Mhm.
Had a sack, I think. Also, he was just again all over the field. I think it was a half a game, and he had I think 8 tackles, 7 or 8 tackles. Logan Skelton was big up front. That was the big key this week. Was we wanted Logan to reset that line of scrimmage, get that penetration. I've been trying to tell him like, hey, kind of switch a little bit, have more in a 4 point stance, different times, situationally to have him fire off a little, heavy handed up there, to stay down, come off the ball hard. He's been playing really well. I just told him like I need you to be the hammer, going forward the rest of the way and just keep resetting that line of scrimmage. He likes to reply and just say, "Me go forward, coach. Me go forward." And I'm like, "That's right, you go forward." So, yeah, we have fun with that. But no, boys played well. We flew around, got after them. Communication was key, and that was a big thing for us the other night. Was just talking about everything. They did some exotic stuff offensively coming into it. Like they're a good football team. I think as the years go with these kids because they're pretty young right now. But from last year to this year, you could really tell they've made a lot of strides and improvement. And they've got that nose tackle that played like center for him some as
Mhm.
well. At number 58, I think it was. Like he was a load, man. He was a pretty good football player. Like he reminds me a lot of some guys we've had around here in the past. So
Well, let's keep it
um,
right. Let's keep it right there in the middle with Logan. How about his maturity over the years, starting as a freshman, and you've always leaned on him. How important is it that we have Logan there?
I mean, it's huge. I mean, he's a kid that came in game one freshman year, started, in a zero and a multiple front defense. So he's got to not only at times anchor down two gap in that zero tech when we're in a 30 front or a three down. When we slide to our 4-man front, he's got to be able to have enough agility and stuff to be able to move fast enough to be sometimes in a head up two. We don't always put them in shades 1 and 3. Sometimes we'll head up our, defensive lineman in a two tech, which is head up on the guard. We'll ask him to slant and be there, beat him with speed. So, and that's something he's worked hard on this year's. Even currently now, just getting his body back to where he wants it to be, so we can have that agility he needs to match that strength. Because I mean, pound for pound, he's probably the strongest guy on the team. Him and Jaquan Evans are both just extremely strong guys, and he's taking care of his body to make sure he's still got that foot speed. And he's actually progressed as the season's gone. I think he came into the season a little heavier than he wanted to be, and he's kind of done a good job to get that extra conditioning and stuff he does on his own after practice and outside the team stuff as well to make sure he's gets his body back the way he wants to be so he can move at the pace we need it to be. So he's done a really good job being sniffing out the screens and stuff too, which you see, and that's just a testament to the work he's put in to be able to plant your foot in the ground. And a 300-pound guy to, see that,
Mhm.
sniff out the screen, put your foot in the ground and get back underneath it. And actually that pick, the pick Travion had, he ran back for the touchdown the other night. The reason that ball was floated and sailed high and outside the way it was is because Logan's driving off the ball, picks up the screen, identifies it, plants his foot, retraces his steps. He sinks back in the vision of the running back. So the only way
Mhm.
the quarterback can get it over and around Logan was to throw it high and outside, and that angles what allowed Travion to shoot it underneath that back and pick it off, take it back for a score. So I mean, that's the thing we try to tell us big guys a lot. Like, look, you're not always going to get the stats, but sometimes you're going to make the plays. Like that's going to happen more often than not. And Logan helped make that play and contributed immensely to that touchdown. Even though Travion's going to get the stat and stuff and the touchdown, some of the, the praise, the immediate praise, but, for the, us coaches and football guys who watch it, it's like, hey, man, he made that play by being able to identify it, retrace the steps for a big guy, which is, outstanding. We've had some guys be able to do that pretty good rate over the last couple of years. So really pleased with him, the way he's played.
I have appreciated Logan's growth over the last few years, and it's a testament to you guys nurturing some underclassmen, especially along that front line. It was great to see Jaquan, the senior, get in there this year, but now we've got Hooks coming up, and also Riley Story just having a fabulous year. But I want to go down to, where did Hooks come from? Just a freshman. How has he impressed you enough to get into that starting lineup?
Yeah, he's a kid we knew coming in here, just year 3. So 3 years ago, we saw him. I thought he was going to be a freshman when I saw him as a sixth grader. He's just extremely developed physically with his muscle definition and tone. He's not a massive kid. I think right now he leaned up a lot. I think he's probably playing around 215 right now, 220 range. Where he was about 250, 260 a few years ago. But he's just physically mature with his body, and he's just got a motor on him and toughness, which again, you've seen a couple years I've been here now, if we've got young kids who can play, I want to get them in the mix, as early as can, because that's just, if you can retain talent and keep these kids, in-house, which these days is something, unfortunately, we have to do more of, is trying to make sure our kids are bought in and want to be here, but getting those kids at a younger level allows them to grow. So by the time they are seniors, they've got, so many games underneath their belt, like Nolan Ward, having a phenomenal year for us. And he came in, as a freshman, played freshman JV games, and as a sophomore, was playing varsity and JV. And here he is. Last year started 4 games, I think, out of necessity last year. And any chance we get him some spot minutes. And here he is now this year as a junior year. Just he's the guy calling the shots, seasoned veteran. He's that high IQ player that's kind of taken over that mantra from Ryan High. Now that he's up over at Bethel College, having some success there. So that's a big thing, for me and for us defensively, is just to make sure we can get guys in the mix. We've got some young guys, I think, that are going to continue to grow, and you'll see next year even some more guys that'll be at the sophomore level. We got this kid, Aiden Kennedy. That's phenomenal. Just, freshman, the way he moves and stuff. Some more of those guys down there. Jabari Hurd's going to be a supremely athletic kid. That's going to help us going forward. So I think, as you see, the big plus side this year, we knew coming into it we're going to be young. But having a lot of these sophomores and now even a freshman or two contributing, this means that we're going to have a lot of turnover next year and retention that we come back to it. We're not going to lose, a ton. Like, you're always going to lose guys and miss the guys you lose, but to try to keep as many, returning starters as possible is always a goal. And you're going to have classes where they grow together. And once they leave, you're going to have 7, 8 seniors, which we had. This past year, we lost a ton of seniors. So now we're in a spot where kind of took a step back from where we were from experience level. Now we're back, as far as talent and athleticism, I think we're pretty equivalent, maybe even a little faster than we were. Some of these younger guys are faster in the same positions than some of these other guys. Obviously, the experience isn't the same, but as they're logging these games, head to the next year when we return, arguably, Travion's going to graduate. Jaden Smith will move on, but, the remaining front 7 we're going to keep largely intact. So have 5 guys coming back in there. Have Garrett and Ramel coming back next year, and then that's when we'll see some of these young guys with the Aiden Kennedys and some of them fill in some of these roles. So I really like where we're at and getting these guys in the mix as early as possible, and starting with James Hooks and the way he's played. And again, he's played really well. He's fast. He's strong. Like, that's the biggest thing. Logan, they went at a couple of times one-on-one earlier in the fall camp. And Logan came over to me and said, "Coach, that James is freaking strong." And I'm like, "Really?" Like, yeah, I mean, like, he's a load. So it's one thing to be weight room strong, but then also to be football strong and to utilize it and leverage and motion the way he does. So he's just been a big contributor.
We love to watch the young guys. Riley Story, another one of those guys, a little bit undersized, you would think, when you see him, but man, when they get a couple of more years, they potentially going to look like monsters. Talking about monsters, coming into Jim Thorpe Stadium, a team that we haven't beaten over a decade, Coach. Bishop Kelley comes in. They're going to come in confident simply because they're playing us. And I don't know, you had mentioned they're like 8-3 against us in this century, something like that. What are we going to have to concentrate on, and what can we as fans and media look for on the field this Friday night to be happening that would help Shawnee come away with a victory?
Yeah, good football team. I mean, they're a very good football team, especially offensively. They've got, a lot of their um, guys are very disciplined. Great size across the front. I think they got a 6'4", 2 6'2s, and like a 6'3" and like a 5'11" center. The guy who's small, he's athletic. I mean, their center can move. Number 50 there. They got a quarterback who can sling it. I mean, he's quarterback's very talented. He can run the ball. He can run the rock really well. He's got some mobility to him, but he's got a very live arm. I mean, he's kind of got a baseball motion. I wouldn't be surprised if I found out the kid was a shortstop or something, because he's got that sidearm action that he goes to, but he can zip it in there. I mean, I did that thing like 65, on a rope. I mean, his arm strength is pretty phenomenal. A lot of stuff they do conceptually. Is difficult. They're very good schematically what they do. I like a lot of their stuff. A lot of switch concepts, little sit stuff, out and ups, wheel routes, a lot of, double routes in the same spot, kind of get guys kind of capping over top just to break off underneath. Run game wise, they got a dude number 2. It's pretty freaking good, but I don't know. He's been out last couple games. I won't be surprised if we see him tomorrow night. Number 17. He runs hard, runs the ball well. A lot of their stuff they do inside, a lot of pulls and motions. They got that influence wham stuff they'll do. Had that, H back just kind of sealed down. They did a lot of that at Booker T, which was good. Combated their speed. Booker T's similar to us, and for they got a lot of speed up front. We've got obviously Logan's a little bit bigger guy. They didn't have one of those, but they've got some, high caliber defensive linemen with Dwayne Jones and those guys. And they had a really good game plan to attack them. They tried to come at them early on. It wasn't looking like they were going to get a lot of movement on them just because of the speed they had. So instead, they went to a lot of like G trap stuff and kind of let them come upfield, kick them out. A lot of influence wham stuff, pulling 2 away, get the backers flowing that way, then seal down with the H-back kicking them out, and then going back same side. So that they scored a big touchdown on that. Yeah, it's gonna be a good chess match. Last year we played them well last year coming out early, and then as the game kept going, I think we kind of had a lull in that second quarter. We had a big pick. I think Jaden Smith dropped underneath one. That was huge for us. And then, by the time that second half, they just got away from us. I mean, they ended up, I don't even remember what it was, but I put some points on us last year. I mean, it wasn't a good feeling over there. But yeah, that wasn't just a long night. It felt that second half over there.
Uh,
Whole comments. But now it'll be the biggest thing is just coming out looking for, we got to establish the front line of scrimmage, reset the line of scrimmage, and be physical up front. And then on the back end, I mean, let's be honest, we got to stop the run game because they like to run the ball, but the stuff they do from a passing standpoint, like, is difficult. It is difficult to stop. They have some really good concepts, so we have to be disciplined. So the biggest thing for us is making sure we communicate on the back end, understand what we're, pre-snap reads, post-snap reads, what to expect, and make sure our communication's there. So if we do have some switch concepts and things that we have to, adjust post-snap based on, route distribution, that we're on the same page. So as long as we're on
so
the same page with everything.
I know that Nolan makes a lot of those calls up front. Who on the backside? Who is that you depend on to make those calls?
Usually on the safeties when they're out there. Obviously, Ramel's a veteran. Kevin Tyner. I mean, Kevin Tyner's been an absolute dog for us for years. He's I've talked before about that DB3 role. We have a guy who rotates in, which we like to do a lot. This year we've had a couple guys do it with Ramel Hunt and Dylan Simmons, who's come along this year. Tyner's been that guy the last couple years where he started a lot of games, rotated. He's one of the few guys that can play 4 spots on the back end. Him and Ramel and really Garrett. We've got 3 guys who can do it this year, but Kevin can play both corner spots, both safety spots, and that's pretty rare for a guy. So he's been a guy on this year that has started all season. There's been different times where he's going to rotate in, but he's been a guy who comes in. He can make the calls, the checks. He knows he can even play the right. He played the Rob spot some last year. So I mean, he knows everything on the defense very well, and he's good at getting guys lined up. Garrett's pretty good for a sophomore, understanding where to be. Ramel's the vocal guy back there between him and Tyner. Hunt, he kind of. He can be a vocal guy, but he's at an island on a corner a lot of the times, so there's not a lot of communication for him. He's kind of just locked up doing his thing. But that's been the biggest thing for him, is really kind of by committee for the most
Yeah.
part this year. But when it does come to it, the vocal guys would be Kevin and Ramel.
Yeah, and it's nice to have that senior in Tyner being able to play all the positions, and Ramel really is a leader. He's one who looks to lead, and so having him back for another year is going to be awesome. What about? And I know they would see this on film. You had talked a couple of weeks ago when we were down in Durant. They found something that they liked on those last 3 drives, and it was about
Yeah.
a pull and about a push and about one of the linebackers having to make this. How have you, when they see that on film and they come out and they try something like that, how have we adjusted, or what do we do to protect against that?
Yeah, no, Durant was they went to the empty set and they went to a weak motion away from motion to the trip side, creating a quad set and then running quarterback GT. We adjusted from that. We obviously changed up some of our back end stuff, our alignment for those empty sets. They'll have some empty quad sets. I expect to see a little bit of that GT action. So something we just rep in practice and just, hey, it's kind of like an if then situation. If we get some of this, then we want to do this, and then we'll have a game time as they come to it. Durant, they had a good. We didn't have really that going into that game. We had pretty limited what we're trying to do as far as the empty stuff. We knew they're going to run some. We didn't have like a plethora of different checks and calls to empty because there's only so much you can do out of it. And then once they got into it, we pivoted and made some different adjustments to it. And then there's a couple of them we just got beat. Guys didn't get over top of those backers, which was tough. As far as this week goes, it's going to be a different array of stuff. I think to come out of. They've got some quad stuff. They've got some empty. They've got some heavy stuff. I think they're gonna they've got a good heavy set. Same thing. Durant, McAllister, everyone's kind of gotten into this same little like heavy jumbo package where like the down swab and stuff, which is just tough. I mean, it's just you're either gonna blow it up or not. It becomes a strength game at that point. Whoever's got the fastest fire off the football, and whoever's got the leverage is gonna win that because it's just body for body at that point. When you get that big inside, now obviously we don't have a ton of strength. So for us, it's got to be firing off the ball. We've got a couple pluggers, but we're more of a speed team. So whether we do sub packages and personnel it when they sub, we sub. Be fast on it, which they're pretty good. I clocked them at 16 seconds on sub to snap on some of their heavy package stuff. So something we rep this week, just looking at different ways we can combat it. I mean, for us, it'll be a good matchup. It's gonna be a chess match.
It's gonna be fun. But talking about their passing game, I noticed too that they are kind of run heavy, but when they throw it, you say that's sometimes difficult. What type of play out there can you adjust to try to stop what they're trying to do?
Yeah, I mean they've got a dude. This kid number 3. I have his name somewhere. RJ Woody. He's He's a good receiver. He's a very
Yeah.
good receiver. He's played for him last year. Extremely fast. They do a lot of good stuff. Like they're very disciplined. All right, Coach Tapano over there. I've coached against him my years at Booker T, and like he's very good at adjusting to the teams he plays. When we were at Booker T, obviously had a lot of speed over there, and he'd come out with like 6 offensive linemen, and then he'd bring in tight ends and stuff, and go big ball and try to use the speed against us and misdirection stuff, get us flowing too fast one way, use counter. So they're very well coached and everything they do in discipline. On the back end, they're going to try to find guys the ball and like lots of screens, unique screens, and doing it different ways that we haven't seen throughout anybody all the years. So it's going to be, like I said, communication is going to be the biggest part. Understanding, watching our film, all the stuff we talk about through the week, but just communicating, like talking to each other. As long as everybody's on the same page, we can defend anything. But that's going to be the biggest thing. If guys get frantic out there, they do a little tempo stuff. You can't, we can't get flustered if they go fast at times. We can't get flustered if they jump in a jumbo set and pound the rock a little bit. We've got to be able to adjust and adapt to everything and just keep every single snap, every step, every rep, and just make sure we just keep fighting the whole way. I mean, it's a 4-quarter game. We've seen that numerous times. I mean, the Kawita was 17-14 with like 8 minutes left, and the final just ended up being like 38-14. Like, so I mean, we've been in a lot of these ball games. We just got to make sure bend don't break mentality, and one play can't beat you. Even if it is a bad play, that can't be the testament for that entire game. You got to turn the page and keep going.
Well, it's going to be a fun night this Friday night at Jim Thorpe Stadium. It is the Comets coming to town from Bishop Kelley. It's been a while since we've been able to beat them. We need everybody out there.
Yeah.
Coach, give a big shout out and a big invitation for everybody to come out this Friday night.
Yeah, absolutely. Coming out, support the boys. Senior night. Gonna have all the senior night festivities. Like I said, I think we're 3-9 lifetime. I think we're 3-8 in regular season. It's been 2013 since Shawnee's beatled Bishop Kelley Comets. So come out there, support us. We need a big win. I mean, it's a big one for us. I mean, reality is we beat them, we knocked them out of the playoffs. So they're gonna come and have everything, at their disposal. Every kid's gonna be up for it. They know what's at stake for them. We know what's at stake for us. So it's gonna be a good, hard-nosed football game on a tough Friday night.
A lot of fun. Shawnee, come on out, Jim Thorpe Stadium. Get out there about 6:30. Enjoy the seniors and have a lot of fun with your family on Football Friday. You've watched Blitzin with Blitch. Coach Mike Blitch, thank you as always for being with us.
Thanks.
Remember, Shawnee, together we build community, one season at a time. See ya.